following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
It's time to BS.
We're back, you crazy SOBs. Well, three of us. Well, it's three's a charm, and there's three of us here in this room now.
Yes,
as opposed to two of us, which is not a bad thing at all. And also, we're live again, so hey, you can see our gorgeous faces. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Hi, Mrs. Wilson. How's everyone doing and stuff? And hi, Dustin in his empty room. And
yes, my empty room with my microphone in the back.
Oh, geez. Dustin missed last episode because he was in Rhode Island or on Rhode Island.
He was goofing off. We know what the story is.
I was gallivanting. I slept on an air mattress in a laundry room. It's a long story. There was an Airbnb meant for 4 people. I was the 5th. So it was a little
super
rough.
uncomfortable too. And hot. Probably very hot in that laundry room.
It was hot in there. Yeah, it was hot. Spoiler: the air mattress did deflate. I ended up moving to the couch.
Oh no!
See, the couch would be an upgrade to me.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But my brother-in-law, he's like, but he goes, if we wake up early, we're going to disturb you. He's like, you should have some privacy. I'm like, okay. He kind of argued his case, but I ended up the last night I couldn't take it. I went to the couch.
To the couch we go. Couch wins. Couch wins. And besides, if you're a deep sleeper, they wouldn't disturb you. You'd be out cold.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a deep sleeper. I'm not, unless I've had a few beers, and I'm pretty deep sleeper. But a light sleeper, I'm not either. I'm like a medium. 3 bears of sleeping. All right, I'm right.
Medium well.
Yeah.
Medium well. Sure, he's a medium well sleeper.
I'm sure some people missed me, some people didn't. Hello to both groups.
Kevin's here, back from his excursion that he was on.
Right. That's right. And our excursion sounds like it worked out a little better than yours did, Dustin. So
yeah, and it was still a fun time. We did a lot of cool stuff, but
We took the train on our anniversary, and that was quite nice. And we had a couple meals, and we had some wine going on. And I'm just a train fanatic in the first place, and so always have been. And so it was a great time.
I need to get a train horn sound on this show.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Why don't I have that?
Yeah, that's an assignment for future Dan.
Someone, I'm autistic. I don't have a train sound on this soundboard.
Come on,
what's wrong with me?
Oh man, but I do appreciate.
Good. I got you there.
Yeah, I do appreciate. Kevin's calling in from his excursion. I saw the background look pretty nice. I did listen to the fine episode that you guys did last week. I had to catch up with my boys, and here we are. I do have notes on the KC game, though. I understand we're gonna be talking some preseason Hawk football.
We will. And how did you guys miss the hurricane? Missed you, Dustin? Right?
Yeah. It didn't hit anywhere, and
all right.
We just got a lot of rain and things up here because of the storms that are going on now. But today was a beautiful day. So
Western Long Island is flooded.
oh geez.
It's flooded. Well, it doesn't help the fact that like most of that part of the island is like below sea level. That doesn't help.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That, like a little bit below sea level, so that doesn't help.
Mhm.
But we were in Hershey, Pennsylvania
Yeah.
this past weekend.
Did you go to the park? Did you go to Hershey Park?
Did go to the park, Dustin.
All right.
We did go to the park. It was a good time. We got a sketch done of the two of us. My shoulders look incredibly broad in that sketch, but which is fine. It's fine. I don't care. I like the broad shoulders that I do have. But Kevin knows this story. So it was 90 something degrees on showtime. Like 2 hours before showtime at the Jonas Brothers concert in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And we were under the seats because it was torrential downpouring. Like monsoon levels of rain. Thankfully, only thunder, but no lightning.
Right.
But it was
Well, if
torrential
there's thunder,
downpouring.
there's lightning, just so you know.
Well, yeah, but it was far out of our reach. But
Okay.
so what did help was the humidity crashed because of the rain. So it dropped from like
Pulled it down,
93 to like 71, which was like, oh, that's fantastic. Here comes the downside. So I mentioned in the green room, Dustin, a little medical emergency.
Yeah.
So Megan, my delightful fiance, passed out.
Oh no. Oh man.
She passed out from the heat, and she's fine, thankfully. But
well, that's good.
her electrolytes were non-existent in her body, and it was a little scary at first. But then it was okay, she's gonna be fine. But because when we put ice on the back of her neck, you could see the steam brewing off of her.
Oh, man.
She was overheating. It was bad. But she's fine now, thankfully. The show was great. I will attest to this, and Kevin will delightfully disagree with me, but that's fine. I will not on this hill.
Well,
They're a good show.
I will not disagree because, to be quite honest with you, I have never to this minute heard a Jonas Brothers song. So I cannot speak intelligently about whether or not they're good or not. So I will not give you any opinion on this.
Smart man you are. So live, they were awesome. Live, they were great. Listening to them on the car ride for 3.5 to 4 hours up the way to Pennsylvania was I want to bash my head against the wall. But that's fine. Listen, I got.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be done because we've gone to concerts and put the CD or when we actually had those.
CDs are great.
You know, a few years back, but now you've got the Sirius XM or you got the Amazon Music, and you put that on and listen to the band on the way to juice you up. So,
yeah, but it was a good show. It was a really good show. We got towels because we were VIP seats.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it was nice. So we were maybe 60 feet from the stage.
Okay.
Maybe ish.
Okay. I can beat that, but go ahead.
We were in good seats. We were really in good seats. And the sunset was beautiful. And then when we got in the car, it looked like this woman was ready to pass out again.
Oh no!
Which thankfully she didn't. But she was overheating, so we had her take a freezing cold shower, like freezing cold. And I got her, thank God for 24-hour CVS's in Pennsylvania. So good.
Yeah.
Great creation. So I got her like electrolyte water. I got her Pedialyte. I got her just a bunch of crap. And then by the time I'm settled and ready to go to bed, it's 2 a.m. And we have to leave at 9 a.m. that morning.
Oh, man.
Okay, I thought you were going to say something really crazy, like you had to be up at 5 or something.
No, God. So I felt like I slept for 5 minutes, but really it was 7 hours. And then I'm like, go to bed, which we left anyway. We didn't get back until 2:30 in the afternoon, which is fine. It was no big deal. But I will also point out that the hotel, the walls were paper thin.
Oh yeah, you can hear
Okay.
everything.
So you heard everything, including some couple who may have had their anniversary going on.
Mm-hmm. Say no more. The puzzle pieces are getting put together.
Yeah,
The
it's
old-
all. Yep.
The Old Spice whistle gave it away. So
Yeah.
it was a good. It
Well,
was,
you kind of gave it away when you talked about paper thin walls. So
yeah. I thought it might be going there too, Kevin. So
it did go that way. So,
okay. So,
so that doesn't help. I mentioned in our group chat that there is a certain game we can discuss. It's arguably one of the greatest football games ever played.
All right.
Dustin, you may not remember this, but Kevin certainly might. Do you remember the 2006 Rose Bowl?
Oh, the 2006 Rose Bowl. If
Yes.
memory serves.
okay, I'm with you.
It was between number 2 ranked Texas, undefeated, 12-0,
Yeah.
And
and
USC.
USC, number 1,
Okay.
36 wins, 31 wins in a row.
Matt Leinart,
Number 1 team in the
quarterback.
That's right.
Back-to-back national champions.
Yep.
You can make a very good argument that that is the greatest football game ever played in the last 40 years.
I would agree, and I'm not even a college football fan, as everybody knows. But who was coaching that USC team at the time? Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
Matt
Carroll.
Brown.
Yeah. Pete Carroll, what's your deal?
Yes, Mr.
So-
What's Your Deal himself. Mac Brown was coaching Texas. Vince Young at
Oh, you
quarterback.
talk about a few years ago with Mac Brown. Yeah,
Yeah,
Could have
yeah.
won the Heisman in 2005, but
that's
whatever.
right. And that's the last you heard of him.
That's yeah.
Yes.
Vince
He-
Young should have won the Heisman in 2006, 2005, but it went to Reggie Bush, who did he get his Heisman reinstated?
I think he might have. I
Okay.
don't know.
He might have gotten his. He did. I remember this. So he got his
Okay.
Heisman back.
Did he let his family sleep in a hotel or something?
I don't remember, but it was autograph stuff.
It was something that you'd get high fives for doing today, but it's back in the day they didn't appreciate it.
But I was watching a documentary of a football life, and it was on the 2006 Rose Bowl. I'm like, oh, I remember this documentary series. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I peeped and spent 45 minutes eating nachos, watching this documentary. I'm like, this is great.
Yep.
And I thought to myself, what is a game in the NFL that compared to the 2006 Rose Bowl?
Oh, geez.
And I thought of 2 examples.
Okay.
Of 2. So I'm going to mention both include the Patriots. Unfortunately,
Okay, I didn't think you were going there, but okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So Super Bowl 52 against the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots, which is one of my favorite games I've ever seen, and unfortunately, Super Bowl 49.
Yeah, we all know how that ended.
But we can probably all 3 of us agree here. That game was awesome.
It was.
Say what you want.
Was
Say
it-
what you want. That game was
Yeah.
awesome.
It was a great game. And I got to admit, okay, when you posed this question to me, there were 2 games that came into my head. One in the playoffs and one not. One, I feel like WCW of the mid 90s. I'm just having pay-per-view matches on Nitro, but I would say a Monday night football game. I believe it was a Monday night football game, and it was between the Rams at the time. I believe they had already moved to LA, yes, because Jared Goff was at quarterback for them, and he was going up against none other than Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And it was
game.
It was an offensive
shootout in Los
explosion.
Angeles. Yeah.
That game was a great game. And then my other pick would have to be, I'm going back a little bit here, but Andrew Luck was quarterbacking the Colts.
Was it the Chiefs one where he had
Yes,
the
it was.
28-point
Alex
comeback?
Smith. Yes,
Yes.
Alex Smith quarterbacking the Chiefs. Those are the first 2 games that entered my mind. As much as we've seen great football games, those were the ones. And I'll be interested to see, because Kevin's got a bigger Rolodex to go
We
back.
do have a fact
I
check.
do. I
Yeah,
do.
we do
and
have we do
there
have a
was a game
confirmation.
that popped right into my head. So
Time out. Hold on. We have a confirmation check. Ryan does pop into this room.
Oh, here
Reggie
we are.
Bush
Hello,
did get his
sir.
Heisman back as of April 2024.
Oh yes,
Okay.
and as usual, he beats me to it. I did have
That's
it
right.
pulled
You know,
up
he
in another
does the
tab.
research. We know this. So
He does.
It helps
He does.
because it helps when he can think these things and gets his haircuts half off.
Oh man.
geez. You went there. I did not.
Hey
I'm
Ryan,
afraid
I
of that.
didn't say it. I didn't say it.
I'm
And
sorry, Ryan.
on behalf of Seahawks Sessions, I will buy you a beer tomorrow at our production
I'm
meeting.
sorry. I can already feel the seething anger from him.
Yeah.
I can feel him just typing an insult incoming.
No, I've never seen Ryan get angry. I've been friends with Ryan a long time now. There was
He would have
one
loved
time,
that joke, though.
yes. There's one time where he was dangerously close, and ironically, it was if you watch No Credentials Required for my tenure on the show, there's a picture of me in a Bobby Ingram jersey that comes in on the opening sequence. Ryan was at that game with me. It was the Seahawks versus the Jets.
2008, right?
And there was a lady that was sitting in front of us, and she was waving her towel the whole time, hit me in the face with the towel one time. And Ryan said, Ryan goes, "Can't see the game." And he was like, it was the closest I've ever seen him to losing it. He didn't lose it, but it was close. He's like, "Can't see the game." And I'm like, oh man, it could get real.
Kevin, what is your pick that compares?
I'm going to go. You talk about getting on the way back machine. I'm going to go to a game in the 1980s between the Miami Dolphins and the Chargers.
Miami, where Kellen Winslow decided to have a 200-yard game.
Yes, and he caught passes, he blocked kicks, he did everything, and you know they had to give him IVs on the sideline, and they outlasted the Dolphins, which nobody expected. And then the next week they had to go play the Cincinnati Bengals, where it was 10 degrees below zero or something in that range.
The Freezer Bowl, yes.
Yes. So
1984, for those wondering.
Okay, 1984. So that was the game that you just could not believe what you were seeing, in front of you. And if I was to go to a college football game, I'm going to go back to the Orange Bowl between the Miami Hurricanes and the Oklahoma Sooners, when Oklahoma came in there unbeaten, ranked number 1, and they knocked down the 2-point conversion to win the game. Miami, and they went on to win the national championship that year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so what year was that, Kevin? Was Oklahoma being coached by Barry Switzer at that time?
2001?
No, we're talking before that.
Oh,
2001, Miami.
Jerome Brown was on this team, right? 90. Was it 91?
I don't know. We're going to some research.
Yeah, we'll have to check that one out. And then for the Chargers, Dan Fouts had to be quarterbacking them at that time. Okay, yeah.
Dan Fouts and as I mentioned, Kellen Winslow, who was one heck of a tight end. And and Charlie Joyner, I believe, was a wide receiver way back then in the days there. And so
1988.
Okay. Yeah.
88.
Yep. 1988. And by the way, there is a very famous video out there of one Kellen Winslow being literally carried by his teammates with a towel over his head.
Man, because he's gassed after that game.
He's done. He's done. And oh man, I wish I could have relived that game. Do you guys? There was also before, way before all of those games that we picked, there was also the 1958 NFL title game.
Yeah,
between the New York Giants.
Yeah, that's
and the
way
Baltimore
before
Colts.
all of our time. So
way before all of our times. Between the Baltimore Colts and the New York Giants, which is considered to be the first 2-minute drill. John Unitas.
That's right.
By the way, in the middle of that time, through 47 touchdown passes, 47 consecutive games with the touchdown pass.
Wow.
Which was considered to be an unbreakable record until Drew Brees did it. Drew Brees did it in 54 consecutive games. So there you go. And then right behind him, Tom Brady, 52.
Yeah, of course. But would you say that Drew Brees breezed right past the record. I thought the whistle was coming. Aren't you glad I'm back?
I
Yeah,
am
you brought
actually.
the house. You
I
brought the house down with that one.
I am.
Yeah.
I wanted to face plant. I'm like, my head's killing me. I don't want to, Mom. I'm trying to be a good person, okay? Just,
Yeah.
What you have done has made God very unhappy.
oh God.
Well, you just don't know what you're getting into when you
You
No.
really
into
don't.
this show. So
You really don't. Ladies and
if you're
gentlemen,
not
welcome.
strapped in, you better go ahead and do that now. So.
Strap it, enjoy the roller coaster ride. Hawaiian roller coaster ride. Thanks, Lilo and Stitch. Welcome to the Department of BS from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. I'm Dan Cruz. This is Seahawks Sessions, part of the Belly of Sports and Belly Up Media Networks. That's Kevin Wilson coming to you from the great state of Texas and from the capital region of Albany, New York. That's Dustin Henry coming to you also from No Credentials Required. And Kevin's from Belly Up Fantasy Live and all sorts of other shows that you will find him. He's there. He's just there.
I'm just there.
He's our resident hermit. He's just there.
He's
I'm just
everywhere.
He's everywhere. He's
Everywhere.
here,
That's
there,
a-
everywhere.
That's a song too, by the way. If you're, we're talking about groups. That's Fleetwood Mac right there. So
Great reference there.
Right.
Like, share, follow, subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast and wherever you may be watching, however you may be listening. Just support the show, support us, and to our non-existent Patreon, please subscribe as well. Onlyfans.com/Daniel Smooth. Anyway,
Yeah.
and if you're watching live, as Ryan has been doing, also engage in the comments and be nice. Be nice, individuals.
yeah,
Just
especially you, Ryan.
what did Ryan do to get such shade? It's not like someone had to make a bald joke.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right. He recently had a birthday, and you know, he and I are going to celebrate a little bit tomorrow. We're having a production meeting. What's coming on NCR? You'll soon find out. But also, we're going to be going to a local baseball game, so we're going to be getting after it tomorrow.
Delightful.
Mhm.
I know it's
Delightful.
football tomorrow, but baseball is still, at least in this house, is king. So
Yeah, well, you probably still have a fantasy championship to play for, Kevin. I
Well,
am in the consolation bracket.
yeah, I'm in 2 leagues. One, I'm doing pretty well, and the other one, it might be c'est la vie for me. So we'll see.
Oh man.
Oh,
I'm
that's a
going up
shame.
against Vince's dad. If I don't beat him, I think I'm done. So that's going down to the last, because the playoffs start 1 week from this Monday. So
Oh, okay. All right. I am in the throes of playoffs already, but in my league, there is something to play for in the consolation bracket. If you win it, you receive the first overall pick in next year's draft.
well, there you have it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to play for that, trying to get that. But my team, there was just too many injuries this year. But speaking of fantasy, Kevin, I would like to thank you for inviting me to fill a spot in the Belly Up Fantasy Football League, and I was on with you and Vince the other night. It was a great show. I watched Kelsey was on. You had Brian there, of course.
Yeah. DJ was on, and it was interesting because you had a guy take a kicker, and what was it, the 10th
Yeah,
round?
Kelsey took a kicker. I can't remember how it was early
Yeah,
though.
it was
early.
real early, and so and DJ took Ashton Ginty at number 2 overall. So the surprise was right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And
Kelsey, I'm
yeah.
disappointed in you.
hey, we discussed that while he did it and after he did it. So we
Listen,
made our,
give him credit. He's confident. I will give Kelsey credit
He
where
is.
credit is deserved.
he certainly was, and I have to say, because Dustin, you came on and you gave what your philosophy was and all that. So we certainly appreciated you showing up over there, and so if you haven't watched it, because the real drafts are going to be going on. Not to say that wasn't a real draft, but it was pretty early on.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't had your draft yet, and hopefully you have not, you will go and watch that show, and you can learn some things from that draft, because one of the things I was always talking about was number 12 overall in a 12-team league. And what would I do with CMC if he was on the board? And I was faced with that very decision.
Yep, you had to do it, and
I had to do it in the second round. I just couldn't let that go, even as a Seahawk fan and all that. And I just couldn't let him pass in the second round. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, but Dan,
I won't blame you for a second.
Dan, you'll be interested to know that I did draft Kenneth Walker, and I was happy to get Kenneth Walker. And then I figured, I'll snag Charbonneau. But I was forgetting that Kevin was also in the draft because Kevin snagged Charbonneau.
I sure did
During my segment.
During live, I was like,
Charbonnet,
yes, Dustin, you know what I'm going to do. And I went ahead and did it.
Yep.
And I even said while we were live that because Kenneth Walker, we've heard, at least I have not heard anything positive about him. And I was high as you could be on him coming into, the preseason.
Yeah.
And I would certainly like to hear something very positive about him going into the season. And, but if it doesn't happen, I took Charbonnet, and I'm hoping that, because I want Kenneth Walker to ball out. If that happens and you got Charbonnet back there, the running game for the Seahawks is going to be something to behold.
We'll get to that. We will get to that down the road.
We will.
But we will be right back. But when we do come back after these messages, we will talk about preseason week 2 versus Kansas City. A potential new head coach could be on the horizon, an impressive-looking offensive line, and a return of an old debate. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Here on Seahawks Sessions. This show ain't free, so time for some ads.
Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast, here to tell you guys about Canada Dips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canada Dip CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BELLYUP20 at CanadipCBD.com. Once again, BELLYUP20 at CanadipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canadips for being a great partner of Belly Up Sports.
That is right, lads and lasses, and whoever you may be, or wherever you may be listening or watching or wherever. Use the promo code BELLYUP20 in all caps for 20% off your order at Canadips.com. So go buy some stuff. I mentioned before how there is a returning old debate going on amongst football fans. Do you guys remember the Trey Hendrickson discussion we had?
Yes.
How could you not remember that?
So it was one of our more popular clips here on Seahawks Sessions. A lot of engagement across TikTok and YouTube, but there's the returning Trey Hendrickson debate. It's become official. The Bengals are shopping him around, or they're at least making it known that he is available. Don't know why.
Well, I thought they were doing that the entire time since we talked about this.
But they're doing it. So, and a lot of the football media, particularly over in Seattle and the Northwest and around that area, has made it questionable that, hey, could this team, despite the contracts that they need to resign, between the Charles Cross, the Abe Lucas of the world, the Woolens of the world, the Kenneth Walkers of the world, the Boy Maffe's of the world, like all those guys, Smith and Jigba, Witherspoon, despite all those guys that needed to resign, would you still make this trade? Dustin, I begin with you.
I think if a player of Trey Hendrickson's caliber is truly available, despite his age, I believe he's 29 or 30. I'm doing that off the top of the dome. I could be wrong. But last year, he was the NFL's leading pass rusher. And let me tell you, this might be a little bit of the preseason football sneaking in, which we'll get to later. I know you're not supposed to evaluate preseason, but I will get to my thoughts. But I am starting to have real faith in this Mike Macdonald defense, and I just feel like adding Trey Hendrickson to it to bolster the pass rush is a no-brainer. I do think that we have some people that can get after the pass rush. Dexter Lawrence, I was hoping to see a little bit of him in the preseason. We did not see him, but at least I don't remember seeing him. I remember him being interviewed on the sidelines, and he says we're going to shut the lights out, but Trey Hendrickson helps you do that. My only worry is the asking price. The asking price, who do you give up for Trey Hendrickson? Do you package the aforementioned Reek Woolen? Do you think that there are other players on the team that can fill his spot? Because
here's what I'm going to answer that question with. Mm-hmm. And we've learned more information about this potential deal over the last several days. It's not the term, it's not the years that he wants. It's the guarantees.
Okay.
So, which makes this very interesting because the guarantees of the contract determine this whole deal. If it gets done, the Bengals have not budged. From what I know, they have a contract, they have the years, they have the terms of said years of the contract. Let's say 5 years or 4 years, $30 million per year. How much are the guarantees? How much are the guarantees? Is it fully guaranteed? Is it 2/3 of the way guaranteed? Is it 3/4 of the way guaranteed? How much is it guaranteed? So that's where I think the fine line gets drawn. Now, what does help in this regard is we're going to bring up an old friend, Jamal Adams.
Okay. Current Raider.
When Jamal Adams was traded here to the Seahawks, he did not sign his extension until the following offseason.
Okay.
Correct? Kevin, can you
Yes.
You can fact check me on this.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
So Jamal Adams signed a four-year extension with the Seahawks a year after he was traded to the Seahawks. Right?
They're still wishing they hadn't done that.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. It is what it is. So I am agreeing with you in the sense of I do believe Hendrickson makes this defense infinitely better. But
you could say that about any defense.
Correct. And they do not have the last defensive lineman to have even close to Hendrickson's numbers was Frank Clark.
Frank Clark, yeah.
2018, he had 13 and a half sacks. It was the last time a Seahawks defensive lineman even came close to that number. No one has ever come close to that. Jamal Adams had 10 sacks his first year, but whatever. That was a safety. But
right. That's a whole different way to play football. So
what keeps me from saying you do this trade is the contracts the Seahawks need to re-sign. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
Devin Witherspoon, Charles Cross, Abe Lucas, Kenneth Walker, Reek Woolen, like all those guys you are potentially looking to re-sign. They only have, as of right now, $38 million in cap space. 8th most in the league. But still, only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's... Kevin, what do you think? Because I'm torn between this whole thing.
I'm going to come at this from the Cincinnati perspective first.
Okay.
Because if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals and on Monday Night Football this past week, Joe Burrow goes out there and leads them right down the field. They score a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Washington takes the field 4 plays, and they go like 70, 80 yards.
Unbelievable.
That was the most pathetic defensive display I have ever seen.
And that says a lot because we've seen a lot of poor defensive play here.
Yes, we have. But to have 4 plays, and they didn't come close to stopping, whether it was a pass, a run, whatever it was, they obliterated the Bengals.
And they got good players on the defense. They really do.
And so if I see that and I'm the general manager, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and say, okay, Trey, we've got to get this done.
Yeah.
We've got to get this done because, they got it done with the rookie and that's all well and good, but they need him. They need to get this done. And as I've said from the beginning, I'm going to switch over to the Seahawks. I'm not giving them any players.
No.
I'm
So
not
you're doing
giving
it strictly
them any,
picks.
and I'll give them picks, and that does not help the Bengals this year at all.
Mhm.
And so maybe if I was to give them a player, I'm going to go ahead and go with Christian Haynes off the offensive line because he's lost out on that position, the right guard position.
Yeah, and that would stink because
It would. And
would
he's the guy
sting.
that I'm going to talk about in a minute, so I don't want to get too deep into this, but because he's not a starter now. He's not going to be the starter.
No.
And so he's one guy I could see possibly dealing. But other than him, I'm not giving up any guys that I think are starting worthy guys on my Seahawks team. Because that weakens an area that we need to have players. I say we. The Seahawks need to have players.
It happens. We
Okay.
do.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so if they want to take draft picks, we can discuss this.
Draft picks would be no problem because they're probably going to pick in the 20s this year.
Right. Hopefully. That's what, 20s,
They're going to.
late 20s, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so if we want to talk that, if the Bengals call me up and say, hey, we'll talk draft picks, we can discuss this. If they want players, I'm not doing that.
No, because they have too many valuable pieces that I don't think they would even consider parting ways via trade because, God forbid Anthony Bradford goes down, Christian Haynes can fit right in.
Right. And
Haynes can fit right in, but if either Gray Zabel or Bradford go down.
Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. He's one of the key guys that I'm watching this weekend.
Yes, correct. So the other reason why I don't think you do this trade is because there's a former Mike McDonald player that's still out there in free agency.
We discussed this the last go-around.
Jadeveon Clowney. He's still out there. Now,
and this is 2 weeks after we discussed this initially, and he still hasn't had a single offer yet. He's considered done to me. If nobody is even bringing him in for a workout, then
that would be stunning because he played well for Carolina.
Right. So
last year.
So what's the deal with this guy? There's got to be something happening because no one is even talking to his agent, as far as I know.
Yep.
Nothing's been reported. I don't even know where this dude is currently.
Probably in South Carolina because, he went to school there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Fine. Fine and dandy. But if I wanted him, I would know where he is right now. And I would be discussing this with him right now. And it's just not happening.
I do have to admit you bring up a good point, Kevin. I am surprised because by all accounts, he played well when he was in Seattle. And John was here when he was in Seattle. The only detriment against Jadeveon Clowney is I believe he got injured a few times playing in Seattle. But he played pretty well in Cleveland after Seattle, if memory serves. But I'm surprised they haven't given him a ring. So like you're saying, there must be something that the NFL execs know that we don't, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, it's one of those things where you look at and you go, you take a little flower and you pluck the petals and go to trade for, don't trade. Trade, don't trade. To be, not to be. He loves me not.
Yeah.
It's like we've all watched Little Mermaid. We know that scene where I'm talking about.
And like I said, the thing that really surprised me is when they said now they're shopping him.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah.
You're telling me that they weren't actively listening to offers because there had to have been offers for him before this last couple of weeks. And so now they're shopping him. Like, okay, I'm not buying that one iota.
I'm not convinced about it either, but it's one of those where you look. It's one of those like, what's going on here?
And I did do some research during our back and forth here. Trey Hendrickson is in fact 30 years old.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
and so 30's not one step in the grave.
No.
And it's not like he's Travis Kelce at 37 years old or whatever, or certain quarterback for it's going to be the starter for Cleveland, who I believe is 47.
Right. Speaking of quarterbacks and speaking of Travis Kelce, there's a delightful video that's out there about do you guys remember Sam Hartman?
Sam Hartman.
He was Notre Dame's quarterback for quite a bit.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
I will say that man looks gorgeous because he because
that's always important to know.
So so ESPN posted like a video of like some lady rizzing up to Sam Hartman, goes, "Sam, my mom is a big fan of yours," and she goes, "Susan, how you doing?" This man looks like a lumberjack. And I commented, and I quote, "Travis Kelce has some competition now. Sam Hartman for league MVP." Because I don't understand the point of why is Travis Kelce the most, the ladies' man? He looks like the most punchable face in the world.
No, well, I don't get it, and I was about to do that. I was about to give a shout out to my captain of the No Credentials Required ship. We were talking about the Kelce brothers on one of the shows, and Ryan and I both agreed that we like Jason Kelce, but then Ryan's like, Travis could take a long walk off a short pier. And it was just he said it with the bitterness. It's
wow.
It cracked me up in the moment.
I've always appreciated what he can do on a football field.
Yeah, that's for sure. You cannot argue with that.
Even though he's at an advanced age now, he still caught balls last year.
He did.
Starts a conversation like that. I just sat down.
But it was to your point, Dan. There's something about him and that face that you're just like, what's with this guy? But to Kevin's point, you cannot argue with his results on the field. What was that game? What was that game where he caught 5 touchdowns from Mahomes? He broke the record for fantasy points for a tight end or whatever.
It was crazy. You had 12 catches or something. But
I still can't get over what the heck Kevin said there. It's he can still catch balls.
Who the f starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Okay. There's no comeback for that one.
I missed this program.
Yeah.
But it was funny. So we do need to talk about preseason week 2 versus Kansas City.
Okay.
And Kevin has been very excited to talk about the Seahawks offensive line. I can see how giddy he looks. Kevin looks he looks so giddy right now. He's like, I get to talk about this offensive line. I'm having a good time.
Well, I hate to disappoint, but the player that I was most interested in going into that Kansas City game was, in fact, Damian Martinez, the running back. Because let's face it, he was DOA in that first game.
He was.
Absolutely DOA. George Holani was running all over the place. And Martinez looked like he was running in place. And as you talked, we talked, Dan, about how the Seahawks have an opportunity because of injury. Is this dude going to step up, or is he going to lay down? Well, he stepped up.
That he did.
Big time. Okay? We could talk about the entire rushing offense because they all stood up. And but Martinez, he's going to make this an interesting battle for this number 3 spot in behind, the first 2, of course. And it's also going to be interesting. Do the Seahawks, in fact, bring 4? I think they should bring 4 running backs on their 53-man roster.
Probably with Walker, and I hate to say this, but with Walker's injury history, I think you've got to.
Yeah, and so that to me, I was really looking to see what Damon Martinez was going to do, and he did in fact get up. So I was glad to see that. And to come back to his point about the offensive line continued to look outstanding.
Oh my goodness.
And I know it's a preseason and don't get too excited.
That's the thing. That's the tough thing. But Kevin, I'm with you. This offensive line.
Yup.
Because so Damon Martinez, 11 rushes, 50 yards, touchdown. Okay. Then you've got Holani, who's continuing to run all over heaven. 5 rushes, 49 yards, 9.8 yards per carry. Then you had Charbonnet, who made his first, preseason appearance, had 5 rushes for 45 yards, a 9 yard per carry average, and he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, right up.
This is by the way without Charles Cross. This is by the way with Charles Cross nursing an injured finger.
That's right. And that goes back to what I was saying about, who's the offensive line we all know is still the key to the Seahawks season.
Mm-hmm.
If the Seahawks offensive line goes down the toilet, the Seahawks season goes down the toilet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good the defense is, because I would argue they're going to be a top 10 defense.
You know who else looks impressive? Jalen Sundell, the center.
That's read my mind.
That brings up an interesting point about the center position, because I was going to go with a different guy, and I want to make sure I get this right, okay? Because his name is Oluwatimi,
who won the Remington Award at Michigan.
Is that a name or is that a name?
That's a name.
Right there. And I think that he's going to be the center winner. And so, but either way, they've got 2 pretty good centers that could, be starters or whatever. So what do they do? Like I mentioned, Christian Haynes. He can play all these different positions, but it's kind of like, a guy that can, in baseball, that can play first base, third base, and the outfield. But can he do any of them well? And can he hit? Because if he can't do any of that, then he's not worth a whole lot.
Nope.
And so it's great that he can play all the different positions, but can you do them well? We have yet to see that. And so he's on my list of I'm getting ahead of myself, so I'm going to stop right here.
But the whole point is that this offensive line has looked fantastic.
Yeah.
It's still preseason, but they have looked great.
That's the thing. And I've tried to tell myself, and I have been jacked to get behind the mic and talk to you guys about this, because you read my mind, Dan. In my notebook, I have Sundell at center, ? But the problem is, who's ever stepped in there has looked pretty good. And Gray Zabel has stabilized this offensive line to a degree that a rookie should not be able to do. And it is preseason. But we know how they looked in the Raider game. But then you go to the KC, and I know
he moved people.
Yes, I know this was preseason. He can move a truck. I know this was preseason, but the Seahawks rushed for 119 yards in the first quarter. They were running all over the Kansas City Chiefs. They were running all over. And when you look at this team, I'm going to go back into the time machine a little bit, gentlemen. Bear with me. And even you, Dan, who has had his problems with Pete Carroll, the blueprint that Pete Carroll wanted to build when he got here, he said it in his introductory press conference, and he said it when he was forced to resign. He said, I wanted to build a top 10 rushing attack and a top 10 defense, because when you do that, you're going to do pretty good things. And he said at his last press conference as Seahawks head coach, when he was resigning, he said, we got away from that the last couple of years, and that is on me. But you look at this blueprint and you can see now that they are trying to do that. Mike McDonald is trying to do that. He is trying to build a top 10 rushing attack and a top 10 defense, but he's doing it his way. He's doing it a different way, but you can see that John Schneider wants to go back to that blueprint. And man, it's preseason football. I have to keep saying this to myself, but you can see what they're doing with the multi-tight end sets with a fullback heavily involved. Utz was involved again early.
We talked about him big time.
Yes.
While you were on sabbatical or whatever it was you were doing.
Yes.
And we were
fullbacks.
We were both giddy talking about that guy. So.
Yeah. But you can see, and Dan, you were right. I gotta say it. You were right about the zone blocking scheme and what. And
it helps so much with offensive linemen.
The real bread and butter is going to be the rushing attack. But if this works out like this did for this game, you can see the team they're trying to build, and you can see how Sam Darnold
right there
would be protected. But my question for both of you, they brought it up in the broadcast, so I can't take credit for coming up with this, but in the past, the Seahawks have carried a higher number of wide receivers in previous offenses. But this year, they could come out with only 5 wide receivers. So who gets the last 2? Because we know that it's JSN, and we know that it is Cooper Kupp. Yes. But then who else fills the slots? Is it Jake Bobo? Is it Cody White?
I got it. So
Torrey Horton.
Torrey Horton
is. We talked about this, you and I, Dan. Go ahead.
Yep.
Torrey Horton has looked good.
He looks better than good to me.
You know who's also looked good? Derek Young,
former
7th round pick.
7th round pick. You are correct.
7th round pick of the Seahawks a couple years ago. He's looked solid. Jake Bobo looked fast.
He did look fast.
He looked fast.
He didn't get as many targets this game, but he looks fast. He looked
like Wes Welker out there.
Yeah, he was a preseason darling last year, but this year, I mean, I think he's got a shot to make the team.
He's going to make the team, and I think the odd man out's probably going to be Valdez-Scantling, which is not a horrible thing.
He's the guy I want to talk about as well.
Go for it.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. So here we go. I didn't understand why they signed him in the first place.
I'm going to mute my microphone just let Kevin go.
Not been a fan of this guy for years now.
Okay.
He's played with some of the greatest quarterbacks ever to set foot on a football field, and he's never looked at anything other than an ordinary wide receiver.
Yeah. Rodgers, Mahomes, yeah.
That's right. And so if you've played with 2 guys that are Hall of Famers and you're on your, 15? Or whatever, how many he's played for,
14.
He's the guy right there. I don't know what they signed him for, and none of that matters to me.
1-year deal.
1-year deal, good. Okay, so you let him run around all day tomorrow, and then on Tuesday you say bye. Because if he goes out there and he gets hurt, it's no big loss. Okay? No big loss. And this guy has been a huge well, I'm going to say disappointment because I didn't expect anything out of him in the first place. But but the truth of it is that he had the opportunity to step up because, they got rid of some very productive wide receivers, older and whatever, and the guy wanted out and stuff like that. So he had the chance to be the number 3 wide receiver, and he fumbled it big time. And so let him do his thing. Maybe he could generate some interest from another team. If that happens, that's great. But MVS, we don't need him.
Do you think? Because I have a feeling because he was on New Orleans last year, I think, where Kubiak was coaching.
That's
and
right.
I wonder if they brought him in. I'm not going to go so far as to say that maybe he was a Kubiak guy, but he was somebody that knew Kubiak's scheme and could maybe impart some knowledge onto the younger receivers. I don't know, but I'm with you, Kevin. I was shocked at the signing. I didn't like the signing. I remember we were critical He's been able to stretch the field at points in his career, but to your point, he's never really lit it up. So to me, give me Bobo and give me Torrey Horton the way that they've been looking.
Torrey Horton's going to be the third wide receiver, and he's going to start, as we talk, Dan, out of the slot. When they go 3 wide receivers, he'll be out of the slot this year.
He's a big slot receiver. That's a very unusual thing to see, which is someone who's 6'2" starting in the slot. It's happened before. Giants, the Giants had a slot receiver who was like 6'2" by the name of Victor Cruz. Not related. So we are not related.
Different spelling.
Okay, it's important to know that.
It's important to know that we are not related.
Okay.
Our spelling of our last names is very different. Very different. But he was 6'2", and it was a big and fast slot receiver. So it's not uncommon for this to happen. However, the depth chart currently has Cooper Kupp starting in the slot.
Okay.
Which is fine. Which is fine. Which is fine. But you know who else has looked really fantastic? Going back to the offensive line, Anthony Bradford.
Anthony Bradford is my guy that has stood out the most in the entire Seahawks team.
Between him and Zabel, they both have moved trucks.
Right. And Zabel, he was a first-round pick. You'd be disappointed if he didn't show up.
Yes.
And there were severe questions about Bradford going into the camp, the starter camp.
Yep.
And he has absolutely solidified that right guard position.
Blown it out of the water.
That's what I'm saying, because Haynes got no place to play now. And he was going to be one of the ones that could have been a right guard position player, but he's not going to be that. And
But
Bradford,
last season we were chastising Bradford for like, this guy looked like a freaking turnstile.
Yeah, absolutely true. That's why he was under the gun when this preseason began.
And the fact, we talked about it, Dustin, like all three of us talked about a zone blocking scheme is an offensive lineman's best friend. Like if you're able to move someone laterally, but also just flat out move people.
Yep.
Which Bradford did at LSU. His rookie season, Bradford was able to do that here. But that's what made Anthony Bradford a hot draft commodity, was he was able to move people. At 340, he was able to move guys, and he's been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Abe Lucas, that Viking of a man,
yeah,
good God, that man is moving people. This whole offensive line is moving people.
Mm-hmm.
You love to see these things.
Yeah, and we'll go back to the Raiders game for just a second. That the defense performed well against the Raiders starters, and the offensive line also. The Raiders starters weren't in much on defense, but and of course it was Mr. El Prez himself. Pete Carroll has put him back on the team, and he's playing linebacker now. I believe he's switched his position. But Gray Zabel handled himself against Max Crosby. I'm going to say it. It's preseason, but he did have to go up against Max Crosby a little bit in that opening game.
Do you guys remember that? So we talked about last episode, me and Kevin, we talked about the Seahawk fan who was torturing Geno Smith.
Oh, yeah.
With that sign.
Yeah, we did. We sure did.
He returned, by the way, against the Chiefs. Did you see what he wrote?
I did not.
Travis Kelce enters the scene, and the sign reads, "Hello, Mrs. Travis Swift."
Oh man!
Well, we've got to be a little bit more original than that.
Come on, that was funny.
Okay, that's not something you had to spend stay up too late to come up with that one.
Oh, come on, that was funny though. Points for effort, though. For effort.
Yeah.
Last thing before we head to break, because we spent a half an hour talking about this. Clint Kubiak's going to be a head coach soon, is he?
It's certainly possible. This is his key year.
Yeah, with the way that this, and again, it is preseason, but go back if you're yelling at us, if you're listening or watching and you're yelling at us and you're saying these guys, it's preseason football. Look at the size. Look at the size of the holes that the offensive line has opened up for the running, specifically on Zach Charbonnet's touchdown. I'm going to do that a ton because I have a friend with the last name of Charbonneau, so it gets in my head.
It's ingrained in the skull.
Yeah, look back at Charbonnet's touchdown and the hole that he had. I could have run through that hole. I wouldn't have scored a touchdown, but I could have run through that hole. Okay, this is why we're excited.
Those were Torrey Wilson size holes.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, it's certainly better to be excited about what we're seeing than to be going into the ditch with it. So
yeah.
I'm proud Torrey Wilson entered the room in that regard. I was going to use Kim Kardashian, but Reggie Bush would come after me.
Yeah, he might. He's gonna run again with his reinstated Heisman. He's gonna come get you.
Oh no!
And this time he'll lateral the ball instead of fumbling it.
Yeah.
That would
Shout
be
out
good.
to the 2006 Rose Bowl.
Well, and guess what? If Reggie Bush comes after you, Lendell White's going to be right behind. He's going to finish
I'd be
the
more
job.
scared of Lendell White
I
than
would
Reggie
too.
Bush.
I would too. I'm not messing with Lendell.
Scared me. I was
he had a career in the NFL. He was good.
He had a short career with the Titans, nonetheless.
Yeah.
It was a short career, but he was beast mode at college before beast mode was even a thing.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
To be fair, USC has a lot more track record as opposed to
Then Cal. Yes, I'll say that.
That's pretty fair because before the Rams were really good, USC was Los Angeles football.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. You went to the Coliseum to go see USC football. That was it. That's really it. We do need to get to a quick break. When we do come back, we will continue with some more preseason discussion, but also just stuff. We'll just have a good time because my brain hurts.
Right.
Anyway, we'll be right back. This show ain't free, so time for some ads.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
I can't find the banner. There it is. Use the promo code BellyUpSports in all caps to get $20 off the first purchase at SeatGeek.com over on the SeatGeek app. Tickets and stuff, because, yay. Why is this banner still up? There we go. Wow, I'm not having a good night. Jesus.
It'll be all right. It's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be all right. What's the latest on the Micah Parsons saga?
Oh man,
we haven't reached
that looks
the last
ugly.
of it yet. We haven't reached the last of it yet.
That's ugly. That's ugly.
And then you got Jerry Jones coming out and saying, what did he say? The Cowboys are a soap opera or whatever the heck he said.
For God's sakes. Okay, so Jerry Jones.
Yes.
I was about to say, where's Jerry? Where's Jerry boy? Jerry, I have a question for you, Jerry boy. So why is it that you can't help yourself, but just stir something up? Whatever. Do you get aroused easily when you just get some unwanted attention? Like, does it arouse you uncomfortably?
I do. I get a tingle where you always want one. Okay, so I'll tell you right now that I do this to motivate my guys, okay? I'm trying to get their competitive juices flowing. It's a tactic I learned when I played football for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
We broke Kevin. We broke Kevin.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
That's spot on right there, I must say.
Oh, Jesus, that was beautiful. Kevin was looking like, what the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
That was terrible. Oh, I loved it. I think we'll just end the segment on that.
We can't top that. There's no chance.
No, we can't. We can't top that. That was funny.
I mean,
was
I have
great.
no idea where he would even go, though. I don't know. But the thing is, couldn't you see Jerry just all of a sudden come into the table and like offer him an obscene amount of money? Where and how? I don't know how, but then say, oh, we had to get the deal done when he's the one that caused the problem.
Literally.
I could see that happen.
Literally.
I could see that happen.
Oh, boy. Preseason week 3 is tomorrow, right? They play the Packers tomorrow, right?
Yes, the Pack.
All right,
Seahawks
so
do, in fact,
we do know that
Packers.
we do know that Jalen Milroe is going to start
Yep.
for the whole game, which is like,
That's right.
okay, because we pretty much confirmed Sam is starting the whole season.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of question there.
Except for a weird chunk of Seahawk Twitter. It's like, oh, maybe, just maybe, Jalen Milroe is going to be the next Russell Wilson. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
No.
No.
But I think
Seahawk Twitter, your delusion is showing.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, he's got raw skills. He's got raw talent. He's got some things that you can't teach, but he also has to work on his accuracy. And you know, I think he could be the starter of the future, but for this year, no. I think you talked about it on an earlier show, Dan. You said that they will bring him in for packages. And I think they've already shown that they're going to do that. They brought him in for the tush push to get a first down. So I think we'll see some of Jalen Milroe this year, but it's not going to be as a starting quarterback in my opinion.
No.
I mean, we know what Drew Lock is. Also, we know who he is.
Yeah.
He's okay.
He's a capable backup. Capable backup.
That's all. That's all you want out of your backup.
Mm-hmm.
Is being a capable backup.
Yep.
And when it comes to him starting the whole game, all you hope for, and that's true about all the guys that are playing in tomorrow's game, that they all walk off the field.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of them. And then so whatever decisions are made on Tuesday are all football related. And not because somebody's hurt or any of that. So that's the only expectation I'm hoping for out of this game, is that everyone that does set foot on the field is still on their feet when the game's over.
Yeah.
Agreed on that part. We also had some joint practice fights.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Is there a joint practice where that doesn't happen?
I don't know.
I don't think so. You get a bunch of guys that are hot. They're usually a little mad that preseason is still going and they don't like it. So it's bound to happen. And it's chirping.
You know who's great with this whole thing? Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. He's starting the fights. Seriously, he's a football guy.
Yeah,
I love that for him.
Is there a football guy more than Vrabel?
No.
I don't know.
In existence today, I don't think I can.
I don't think so. Because that's a perfect fit for the Patriots. That really is.
It is, and I will admit, I was a little miffed when when he was out there and he was available. I'm thinking to myself, why didn't the Seahawks go get Mike Vrabel or at least interview him? But But here's the thing. I mean, we should have seen it coming 1,000 miles away. They got Gerard Mayo out of there as fast as they could. And brought in Vrabel. I still think Gerard Mayo got a raw deal. I hope he gets a coaching job. I hope he gets a coaching job somewhere else, because they gave him no roster and they said, hey, do something.
I will mention this again on a previous clip of Time to BS. I mentioned how Gerard Mayo got only 1 year and Mike Tomlin's still there in Pittsburgh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is one of the great mysteries of my life.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to close up shop in a matter of minutes, but we do have a BS of the week. And it's a delightful time. It's a delightful time. So you guys ready for BS of the week?
I'm set. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Let's hit up the music. This is BS of the week. I missed that.
Still gets me. Still gets
great.
me.
Have you guys ate at Cracker Barrel before?
Of course.
Okay,
I
for
know.
me,
I can see the look of disappointment.
It's been a lot of years for me.
I want you to guys look up the new logo.
I've seen it, and is there a more abject disaster?
All right,
I look at it and I see disappointment. Dustin, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I got to look it up. I heard that they were redesigning the restaurants, but I didn't know they changed the logo as well.
They did. They changed the restaurants. They changed the logo. Apparently, they're changing some of the menu.
Yeah, this new logo, all they did was, this is nothing. This is nothing.
So I have a question. How bad is the outrage going to be to where they backtrack on this whole thing?
Well, they're already, they're just talking about stocks have lost like 15% since Monday.
Horrible. Since like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We just ate Cracker Barrel, me and Megan, like this past weekend.
Yeah, and they got the gift shop in there.
Right. Well, and you go into a Cracker Barrel for that, Dustin, because you go in there, they got the gift shop, and they got stuff that you got in the 1970s, and in the little bazooka soda, which no one's ever heard of since 1958 or whatever.
They also got the best cast iron pans I probably have ever seen.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
And you can go in there and get yourself.
There's a lot on my end, by the way.
I love a good cast iron skillet. I got 2 lodges sitting right out of my kitchen there.
Okay, so, and that's the kind of thing, that, because I'm a little older, so, I could go down the freeway, and you'll either see a Stuckey's, which only one exists as far as I know now.
Okay.
Or Cracker Barrel. And you pull in the Cracker Barrel and you go in there, you have yourself whatever, breakfast or lunch, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Then you go into the little store and you buy yourself like some Chuckles. You know what those are?
Yeah.
The little jelly candies, whatever.
Yeah.
And I love those. And the only place in this world I could find those is at a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
So, you go in there and you buy stuff, like I said, you haven't seen since you were, 8 years old or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you go about your day.
Yeah, and you enjoy a pretty good meal.
A solid meal, And there were, not too long ago, we went in there and I had, what was that? Some rainbow trout or lemon pepper trout. Now, who goes to Cracker Barrel to have that? I did.
Kevin Wilson.
Kevin Wilson, that's right. I didn't know that's what I was going there for when I went there, but it was really good. Mm-hmm. And they're just like with the whole thing with the Bud Light thing. They're trying to bring in customers that have no intention of ever walking into a Cracker Barrel, and they're going to alienate the people that already are going in there. It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
It's the whole discussion of like the failure to read the room.
Exactly.
Kind of
Yeah. That brings that. You stated it as about as eloquently as it could be stated.
A failure to read the room is as easy of a thing to say. They failed to read the room, and it's
and like I said, Bud Light did the exact same thing. They failed to read the room, and the next thing you know, no one in their right mind is ordering that stuff anymore.
Well, and I think a small part of it might be. Do you both know what Red Lobster did? How they were on the brink of bankruptcy, and then they brought in a guy, and he was a younger guy, and he changed the whole menu, and he kind of like trimmed it down, and now they're back. They're like performing well. So I guarantee you, shareholders of Cracker Barrel saw this and said, "Hey, that worked for Red Lobster. we got to do this. And it's,
okay, but here's the difference, though.
Yeah.
Here's the difference. Cracker Barrel has good food.
hey, I haven't been to Red Lobster in years, but I will stand by their cheddar biscuits.
No,
okay?
the cheddar biscuits are fine.
Yeah.
I will defend the cheddar biscuits.
We'll defend those to the very death.
Between cheddar biscuits or Olive Garden breadsticks, I'm taking the cheddar biscuits by far.
Okay.
I'm taking the biscuits. Just about any other option there is.
Correct. But Cracker Barrel is good food.
Okay.
You know, and they've got a very extensive menu. At least they did.
Cracker Barrel's a great menu.
And they had your breakfast. You could go in there, and there's a lot of places that you could go into. Let's say it's 3:00 and you want breakfast. Where are you going to go?
A diner or Cracker Barrel
or Waffle House if it's there.
If you could go to a Waffle House or whatever, but
in the defense of Cracker Barrel, you're not going to get shot at Cracker Barrel.
No. Oh no,
You're not.
I'm staying way out of that.
Dude, we don't have one. We don't have one anymore around here. But Denny's also was the place where you could go. And I ate at 3 a.m. at Denny's plenty of times, but some
Denny's
nights,
at 3 a.m. just hits better.
It does, but some nights were a little dicey. Okay, some nights in there were a little dicey.
Sometimes at 3:00 in the afternoon, you're a little dicey.
Here's the thing. Here's my defense with like 2 a.m. breakfast. It's like this is when you're hungover or you're coming home from like a crappy
Hopefully,
breakup.
if you're hungover, you're not driving.
Okay, but like my point is like if someone is driving you home and you're just drunk and you're just hammered and you pull over and say I'm gonna vomit, but I also want to go get something to eat.
Make sure you do that outside the car, please.
I'm going to Waffle House.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm either going to Waffle House or Cracker Barrel's nearby. I'm going to Cracker Barrel.
To a Waffle House, and I actually had waffles and bacon, and it was very good.
It was really good.
I enjoy
but also
Waffle
it's
House.
it's like I go to Cracker Barrel, I'm like, oh, I'm having a good time here. But when I go to Waffle House, I'm like, I'm having a good time, but I'm also in danger. For those who have Waffle House down in the Carolinas, you're gonna love that reference.
Yeah, I'm gonna not comment on that. So.
I haven't had Waffle House. The last time I had Waffle House, I was in Virginia because we don't have any Waffle Houses around here. But I had peanut butter waffles and they were good.
There's a Jonas Brothers song, ironically enough, named Waffle House. How I know that?
Right.
My fiance told me this.
Oh, nice. Of course she did. Okay. A super fan such as herself. And let me just quickly, before we close up shop, let me just quickly take a moment to applaud you for supporting her passion. I appreciate that.
She supports my bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
For God's sakes, I support her.
Yeah.
She has to deal with me, so I'm a mess.
Before we close up, so what was the best concert you've ever been to?
Oh, right. Yes, we forgot about that part. So there was 2. I saw Eric Clapton.
Wow. Okay.
I saw Eric Clapton in Madison Square Garden, and Dustin might know who this guitarist is. Gary Clark Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Clark Jr. opened up for him, and then before Gary Clark, Jimmy Ray Vaughan, who's Stevie's brother.
That's right. Yep.
Opened for him also. Jimmy Vaughn opened up, and then after that, Gary Clark opened up second, and then at the end of the show, they both went on to support Eric Clapton.
Awesome.
Great show.
Yeah.
I will also say Government Mule.
Oh, okay. Warren Haynes, of course, yeah.
Who played at the Great South Bay Music Festival here in nearby Patchogue, Long Island, which is a yearly thing. They were awesome. They were great. I'm a little biased because Soul Shine is tattooed on my wrist, and that's one of their songs.
Yeah.
But it's tough. I also saw Billy Joel live at the last show before the Nassau Coliseum renovations. That was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, I'm either going to go Mule or Clapton. Because Clapton was great.
Those are good picks. And I mean, I will say I don't usually like a lot of jam bands, but Government Mule is the exception. I will get down on Mule.
They're great.
Anytime, because you got Derek Trucks on guitar as well. And Warren Haynes, love it.
That man plays possessed, Derek Trucks.
Yes, he's a prodigy.
I swear, he looks possessed when he plays guitar.
He was 17 and he was playing with the Allman Brothers, at one point, like
in the 90s,
newer
yes.
version. Yeah. So he's a man. He's a man with an axe for sure.
I'm curious to know what Kevin's favorite concert is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a guy who brings it. All right?
Watch it be Alabama.
It's not going to be Alabama.
Dang it!
Try not to think about what might have been, Dan. That's was right. Then.
So,
but we have taken different roads.
Okay, so my answer is George Thorogood.
Oh, the Destroyers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's coming here.
He's going to be around here, but it's going to be during the week, so that's too bad. But he brings it.
Yes,
I'm talking brings it.
Yes.
And a second one I would say is Joan Jett.
Joan Jett from Long Island, by the way.
Okay, and she opened for The Who, and she blew their ever-living doors off.
That is a woman who plays possessed on guitar.
She is.
She plays possessed.
Yeah, so Joan Jett and George Thorogood would be my answer.
Ooh,
that's good.
You just reminded me of something. So a while back, Led Zeppelin was honored at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. And Heart played Stairway to Heaven.
I've seen Heart.
The Wilson sisters, forget about
it. The Wilson sisters played Stairway to Heaven, and it was unbelievable.
Well, their last name's Wilson, so, it's going to be stellar.
Yeah. But, man, in Joan Jett also, there was a benefit. I think it was for the LA Fires, the remaining members of Nirvana, my favorite band of all time. Everyone who knows me knows this. They reunited to play as part of the benefit, and it was Dave Grohl on drums, Chris Novoselic on bass, Pat Smear on guitar, and
who was on vocals?
They brought out, that's the thing, they brought out a bunch of different singers to fill the void, but one of them, Joan Jett, and she did a great job.
That's a good fit, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did a great job.
That's a really good fit. I would not be surprised about that part.
Oh, yeah. The other ones, I think it was St. Vincent did a song with them as well. Dave Grohl's daughter, Violet, did a song with them as well. And then the other one was from Sonic Youth, Kim Gordon. That one didn't go over so well. I had high hopes for that one. That wasn't good.
Nah.
But
what are you going to do?
I will say my favorite concert, it's tough because for a man that enjoys music, I haven't seen that many. I saw Tom Petty many times at SPAC. He was great. He always was whenever I saw him. The Deftones, they also get an honorable mention from me. They were fantastic. They played a small club in Clifton Park, which, bring it all back around, in 2007, the Jonas Brothers played a free show in Clifton Park,
New Jersey. Yep.
Clifton Park, New York, 2007, in the middle of the mall. They played one, Clifton Country Mall. I was not there.
I'm going to text her this.
My favorite concert of all time, I got to go back to 9th grade for this one. I was in 9th grade. Do you remember a band called The Offspring, Dan? 1999, I saw The Offspring on the Americana tour. Now, The Offspring was amazing. They played at the RPI Fieldhouse, which is a venue near me that people will know. But the reason I remember that show is not because of The Offspring. The Offspring were phenomenal. They were the headliner. But the reason that I picked this show as my favorite show is because of the opener. The opener was a punk band that I did not know from Australia at the time called The Living End. And The Living End, now their sound changed a little bit. After this album, their sound changed a little bit. But if you download their first album, it's self-titled. It's from 1999. That album is phenomenal. The guy plays upright bass, their bass player. He stood on top of the bass at the show and was playing the heck out of it. But Chris Cheney, their lead singer, can play the heck out of the guitar. If you are a guitar player or you appreciate a good guitar playing music, check out The Living End. That first album in 1999. I saw it live on tour. Is amazing.
This was an edition of Dustin's, Dan, and Kevin's Tunes. Final thoughts or close up shop for the day, lads?
I got nothing left. It's just good to be back with you guys.
Yeah, the cars, we ejected all the gas out of the tank, so we got it covered, man. We got it covered.
We're parked. Oh, that's the other thing I want to discuss with. So next week's show, because next week is the final Friday show before the regular season begins. We will preview week 1 versus the 49ers.
Well, before the season begins, but not before the first Seahawks game.
You know what I'm saying. But we will preview. We will give our official postseason predictions for the NFL playoffs.
Okay.
So we will have a week to decide who's in, who wins their divisions, who are the 6 wildcard teams, and who makes the Super Bowl. We're not going to go down that road because that's a who cares thing. So,
all right. So playoff teams only.
Okay,
playoff teams only.
I'm down. Okay. I'm down.
We will have a good time with that. So tune in next week, next Friday.
That's right.
Seahawks Sessions Friday.
That's right.
We're back live again because I will also mention that green screen's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I like the natural look. I like back. You get a little glimpse. You get a little glimpse into your abode there.
Speaking of, where's the donut?
Yes.
Donut's behind me. She's being a shrimp. She's comfy for some reason.
Okay,
she's just there.
There's our cat sitting right over there, looking at me like, "Are you going to pay attention to me at all, or no?" So,
cat stuff. Thanks for tuning in, lads and lasses alike. See you next week for Seahawks Sessions. That's Dustin coming from the capital region of Albany, New York. Kevin's coming to you from the Grace Head, Texas. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. We'll see you all in this life and most certainly the next one. Cheers, everyone. Laters.
Meat Rob.